Bad news, guys. The UK is indeed planning to deport international students. And the reason for this, we are going to find out shortly. But before we find out the reasons, you guys remember that I made a video saying that if it is not very important, if your life does not depend on it, and if you are not in a hurry, do not come to the UK to do your masters. Well, some of you took it positively, but I also had some of you saying, no, it is because you have gone through the system, you are getting the benefits, and so you don't want us to also come and enjoy what you are enjoying. But of course, in that video, I gave you valid reasons of why you should not come and do your masters here. And I still insist that if you are interested in working in the UK, the best option is for you to pursue a skilled worker visa, apply, and if you get it, you come to the UK, do your work, and you can study later if you wish to do so. If you didn't watch that video, you can just click right here and then you watch the reasons of why you should not come to the UK to do your masters. But that is not the topic of today's video. For that, let's look at an article that has been published just today, the 8th of March 2025, saying the government is planning to deport overseas students. And why? Let's find out. Let's go! But before that, if you are new here, welcome on board. In this channel, we talk about opportunities either work or job related in the UK or elsewhere. And if that's something that you are interested in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the family. And if you find this video useful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So let's continue. So as you can see, guys, the date of publication of this article is Saturday, March 8th, 2025. At what time? 6 p.m. And what does it say? Overseas students will have to find a graduate level job within 2 years or risk deportation under government plans to tackle soaring migrant numbers. So to give just a little background, this is what has been happening. When you come as a student, after your studies, you are entitled to 2 years of post-study visa. So currently, during those 2 years, you can just chill and relax. You can get any low-level job and you can do that for the time and even continue doing that after the 2 years if the company you're working for gives you a visa sponsorship. Or you could get a graduate level job with a visa sponsorship and you stay and work for that company. But now, all of that is going to change. And by the way, this graduate visa we are talking about is not so attractive as it is right now. Firstly, it is expensive. Secondly, you cannot bring your dependents. Thirdly, it does not count towards your settlement. Just imagine the 1 year you spent studying plus the 2 years of graduate visa does not count towards your settlement. But also, it is expensive. Let's just briefly look at how expensive this is. So what you are looking at here is the official government website, and we are under the section of graduate visa. And I specifically wanted to share with you this part of how much it costs. So currently, this is how much it costs. When you apply for a graduate visa, you will need to pay £822 as application fees. That is just application fees, guys. And then you have to pay a health surcharge. This is usually £1,035 for each year you will be in the UK. So that means for the 2 years, you are supposed to pay £2,070 plus the 822. You are almost at £3,000, and that is for just you alone. But if you are a PhD student, because PhD students are allowed to come with their dependents, that means for each of your dependents, you are going to spend the same amount. So let's just assume that you are a family of 3, mother, father, and a child. That means you will have to spend £9,000. As you can see here, it is written, if you are eligible for graduate visa, for 2 years, you will spend £2,070. So what you need to do is to add this 822 and then you multiply that by the number of family members that you are applying for. Yes, guys, and all of that does not even count towards the settlement. So now, after all that, the government is saying if you don't get a graduate level job, you will be deported. Let's first take a look at that article again. So here we are. Migrants on student visas will have to find a graduate level job within 2 years of leaving university or risk being kicked out of the country under the plans to tackle Britain's soaring migration figures. And it goes ahead to say the graduate visa can be obtained by any international students who completes their course and allows a 3-year stay for those completing a PhD. Of course, it is 2 years for the masters. And then it says here, however, a higher bar is now being considered by the government, with sources telling this newspaper that ministers are taking aim at graduates who take jobs without prospects of career progression. As we know right now, graduate students can take up any available job. So it is not uncommon to find a graduate master's student working in warehouse, for example, or in retail, or in care work and things like that. And that is what the government is planning to curtail. In other words, they are saying if you are a dentist and you have come to the UK to do a master's in public health, for example, you must get a job in public health. If not, you'll be deported. So you cannot stay, even if you get a visa sponsorship, on a job which is not at graduate level. So guys, what do you really think about this plan? And what I know about the UK is that any plans to do with immigration and reducing migrants might pass through. So if you are an international student in the UK, what do you think about this? Is it still worth coming to the UK? Please leave us your comment, because I know prospective students are also looking at these comments, and you never know, it might help them to make a decision. And is it easy to get a graduate level job after completing your studies in the UK? Let me know what your thoughts are. Because my own position, guys, you already know, I told you, it is better for you to come to the UK as a skilled worker. Why? Because myself, I came as a student and I know what being a student is like. But of course, it differs from person to person, and someone else might have a different experience and a different opinion. If you have a different opinion, please leave it under the comment section so we can all share ideas. Otherwise, if you like this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you are new here, please make sure that you hit subscribe and join this family. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.